You are welcome to study session 6. Theories of Truth. Introduction. In this study session, we will examine the various theories of truth as we have them in epistemology. These are coherence theory, correspondence theory, and pragmatic theory, respectively. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to 1. Analyze the following theories of truth: coherence theory of truth, correspondence theory of truth, pragmatic theory of truth. Coherence theory of truth. As a set of two or more beliefs are said to cohere if they fit together or agree with one another. Typically, then, a coherence theory of truth would claim that the beliefs of a given individual are true to the extent that the set of all their beliefs is coherent, and a set of beliefs coheres if and only if each member of the set is consistent with any subset of the other. The coherence theory of truth is often attributed to Brand Blanchard. Coherence is the sole criterion of truth. There is therefore an implied condition of consistency in any system of belief before it will count as true. The implication of the above is that a purely true system would be one that gives us a complete picture of the world. This theory can be expressed in the following formula. For each belief B is purely true if and only if B is a member of a consistent set of beliefs that among them give a complete picture of the world, and each of them entails each of the other. But the pure truth has never been attained. So Blanchard proposed that truth comes in degree. A given judgment is true in the degree to which its content could maintain itself in the light of a completed system of knowledge, false in the degree to which its appearance there would require transformation. This is captured in the formula. For each belief B is true to degree n if and only if n% of the content of H would be present in a purely true system of beliefs. As it is the case in philosophy, all positions are subject to criticism. The most common objection to coherence theory is that the condition they place on truth are too weak. Correspondence theory of truth. This theory of truth is often summed up with the slogan, "Truth is correspondence with the fact," or "Truth is agreement with reality." In an attempt to define truth, Aristotle has it that to say that either that which is not, or that which is not is falsehood, and to say that that which is, and that which is not true. Correspondence theories are of two types: correspondence as correlation and correspondence as congruence. Correspondence as correlation. Correspondence as correlation asserts that every truth bearer, that is, proposition, sentences, belief, and so on, is correlated to a possible fact. If the possible fact to which a given truth bearer is correlated actually obtains, the truth bearer is true, otherwise it is false. What correspondence as correlation claims is that a truth bearer as a whole is correlated to a possible fact as a whole. Correspondence as congruence. Correspondence as congruence claims that truth bearers and the possible facts to which they correspond have parallel structures. Austin has offered a correspondence as correlation theory. Truth is considered as a single, four-term relation between a statement, a sentence, a state of affairs that is possible fact. and a type of state of affairs. For Austin, a statement is the information conveyed by a declarative statement. So a sentence is the medium in which a statement is made, and the meaning of statement is a matter of two kinds of convention that have evolved in our language. First, there are descriptive conventions correlating sentences with types of states of affairs. Second, there are demonstrative conventions correlating statements to particular state of affairs. Thus, a statement is said to be true when the historic, that is, particular state of affair to which it is correlated by the demonstrative conventions, that is, the one to which it refers, is of a type which the sentence used in making it is correlated by the descriptive conventions. Hence, the correspondence between the truth bearer and the world is absolutely and purely conventional. For example, the cat is on the mat would in an ordinary context refer to the present state of affair in which speaker and hearer find themselves, along with a cat and a nearby mat. Therefore, if a cat is on a mat in the state of affairs in which the speaker is located, the statement is true because the present state of affairs is of just the type described by the sentence. Pragmatic theory of truth. The pragmatic theory of truth can be classified into two. There is the consensus theory of CSPS, according to which a true proposition is one which would be endorsed unanimously by all persons who had had sufficient relevant experiences to judge it. Second, there is the instrumentalist theory, associated with William James, John Dewey, and F.S.C. Schiller, according to which a proposition accounts as true if and only if behavior based on a belief in the proposition yields beneficial result for the believers. Both theories imply that the facts of the matter are not relevant in the true value of the proposition. Consensus theory of CSPS. CSPS believes that any two minds investigating a given question would tend eventually to arrive at the same answer, even if they used different methods and different poles of evidence. Let any human being have enough information and exert enough thought upon any question, and the result will be that it will arrive at a certain definite conclusion, which is the same that any other mind will reach. Moreover, this one answer that all would reach is by definition the true answer, the opinion which is fated to be ultimately agreed to by all who investigate is what we mean by truth. Indeed, in principle, consensus embodies the truth no matter what method was used to bring about consensus. An important question that is likely to come to our mind here is that what gives peers the confidence that investigators would move towards a common conclusion. Ultimately, our evidence takes the form of perception, and these perceptions are controlled by a single fixed reality which is public to all. Since there is just one objective reality, and it is driving all of us to believe that accurately reflect it, we are driven to agree with one another. So, in the long run, the only proposition with which everyone would agree are those that accurately reflect reality. Hence, is true is equivalent to accurately reflect reality. Specifically, what is real is just whatever we would come to agree is real. The real is the idea in which the community ultimately settles down, and everything therefore which will be taught to exist in the final opinion is real and nothing else. Peirce called this social theory of realism. The problem with Peirce's account, which he also noted, is that we cannot be quite sure the community will ever settle down to an unalterable conclusion. upon which any given question, nor can we rationally presume that any overwhelming consensus of opinion will be reached upon every question. William James, Instrumentalism. James accepts the definition of truth embodied in correspondence theory of truth, namely, that a true belief or statement is one that agrees with reality. James wants to give the word agree in the phrase agree with reality, a different sense from the typical correspondence theorists. Given that reality is just useful mental construct of the collection of past and present minds, a belief agrees with reality by providing useful to those who believe it. According to James, useful beliefs are those that 1. Enable us to manipulate the objects of the world. 2. Allow us to communicate successfully with our fellows. 3. Provide good explanations for other occurrences. And 4. Lead to accurate predictions. It is important for us to note that James identified truth with beliefs that are useful over the long run and all things considered. The truth, to put it very briefly, is only the expedient in the way of our thinking, just as the right is only the expedient in the way of our behaving. Expedient in almost any fashion, and expedient in the long run and on the whole, of course. For what meet expediently all the experiences in sight will not necessarily make all further experiences equally satisfactory. Study session summary. In this study section, we discussed the theories of truth, which includes correspondence theory of truth, coherence theory of truth, and the pragmatic theory of truth. We also examined the ideas of various philosophers who had contributed to these theories of truth. We have now come to the end of study section 6. Thanks for listening.